So I'm Catherine. I am the owner and trainer at Canine Support, and today I am going to do a little presentation about what is free work, because you might hear the words banded around a bit, but actually gone, what is that all about? And so I am going to share my screen with my little presentation, because I do like visual stuff, and it is a bit of a visual guide as well, so that you can see what I'm talking about. So what is free work? Well, ACE free work, animal-centered education, was developed by Sarah Fisher, and I was lucky enough to do my Tellington T-Touch training at Tilly Farm with Sarah Fisher as she was developing free work in the beginning. And that was before Sarah went on to develop the animal-centered education side of things. But free work is a great way to give your dog structured enrichment and activities to explore and improve their self-confidence. And so this is my little dog Remy, and she absolutely loves free work. So she's a bit of a star of the show. So with ACE free work, it's not just about the mental stimulation, but it's also enrichment in overdrive, exercising all of the dog's 7 senses. So that is their sense of smell to find the food and investigate the other interesting odors from your free work elements, the touch, of the different surfaces and textures under their feet or with their nose. And so in this picture, you can see that Remy's got the bone puzzle feeder. So she's going to be experiencing touch with all those like rubbery bones on her nose. The sight, their sight is to see the different objects, the shapes and the different colors of the elements that you use. And then their sense of hearing, because some objects might make a noise when they walk over them, or if they're snuffling in scrunched up paper or a ball pit or something, then that's going to make noises as well. Their sense of taste, because we like to use a range of different foods. So that might be some little biscuits or some cream cheese or pate or something that you as a licky element, and then some bigger treats maybe that they can chew on. So lots of different tastes going on there. And then proprioception, which is their awareness of their body in sort of space and time. Proprioception in a kind of simple form is that I can close my eyes and touch my finger on my nose, because I know where my nose is and I know where my hand is without actually being able to see. So there's that awareness of their body, but also the muscle and joint alignment and how their feet are falling as they're walking around the free work area. And also their vestibular sense. So that's their sense of balance as they find and retain their balance over the various different surfaces, some of which might move, and as they're moving around the area. And so this is, there's quite a few elements here, and we basically work our way up from a couple of elements to some more. It's a very low impact activity and an opportunity for your dog to engage with a variety of different items. And we start by using a few different elements, like a different surface to walk on, a raised surface, and then perhaps a snuffle item or a licky mat. And we prime these surfaces with a number of treats and then let our dogs explore these elements. And we watch how they engage with the elements, what they like, what they might be concerned about, which treats they prefer. They might like to go for the biscuits first, or they might like to go for the licky elements first. And it's always interesting to see. And each day that you do this, they might be different. You know, they might go for different things first. So it's always good to observe your dog and obviously just supervise when they're doing the free work. But we also like to place treats on the ground near the elements so that they have access to the treats and they don't have to engage with something that they might be worried about. So in this photo, this is Chloe. So I would have scattered some treats in the grass so that she doesn't necessarily have to go and take anything off of the elements itself. And when we do have things like there's this big sheet of rubber, so I would put the treats right on the edge so that she doesn't feel that she has to walk onto the surfaces straight away, until she builds up her confidence that, you know, this is an okay thing to do. The other important thing is to always have water available for your dog, as learning is really thirsty work. And it's quite good to have 2 bowls. So we have one on the floor as normal, and then we might raise one just slightly off the ground, depending how big your dog is. And that's so that they don't have to completely lower their head to the floor to drink. They can have their head slightly raised, still see what's going on around them. And Chloe is, you might have heard me talk about Chloe before, but she, when I first got her as a rescue, she had to be hand fed because she was scared of the bowl as an object. And you might say, well, you know, I could just scatter feed her and stuff like that. But the thing is that when I did some free work with her and she gradually learned that objects are actually a source of really cool stuff, that meant that she then started eating out of the bowl, but then it also meant that she could use other things as well, like puzzle feeders and Kongs and other kind of enrichment activities that were in, you know, the food is in an object. So now, because of the free work and how her self-confidence has grown over the years, you know, she's just in such a better place to enjoy a whole range of stuff. And she absolutely loves it as well. Bless her heart. And so we've talked about raised elements, and placing treats on raised surfaces can help to improve their posture. It can release tension all the way from the neck down the back to their hindquarters. And what's really interesting in this photo with Remy is that I've put this licky mat on the edge of the raised element. And it's on the edge so that she doesn't have to necessarily climb onto the raised element if she doesn't want to. However, she does like to climb. So she's chosen, rather than walk around this piece of wood, she's decided to put her front paws on it to get to the licky element. And this is one of the really interesting observations that I pick up as I watch my dogs doing free work. And the other thing is that we can use the snuffle elements. And a great thing is to use like a muffin tin or some kind of oven tray, where you can put some treats on the tray and then cover the tray with some familiar toys. So it's not all new, there's familiar toys that they're used to on top, and then they have to snuffle and seek and find the treats underneath. And seeking out those toys, it's their dog's natural seeking ability to find the treats. And the sniffing and the licking and the chewing, they're all natural self-calming activities for your dog. And finding these treats by seeking gives your dog a sense of achievement and success, which in turn then helps to promote their self-confidence as they are successful in finding the exciting things. And this is obviously Chloe with the muffin tray covered in a variety of different toys there. And what's also interesting is, does your dog push the toys out of the way with their nose, or do they pick them up and remove them out of the way? That's always an interesting one to watch, just to see what kind of problem solvers they are. And free work doesn't need expensive equipment. The best thing about it is that you can just raid your kitchen cupboards for bowls and tubs that you can put treats into. And you can look into your garden shed for pots or trays or anything other, you know, that stuff that you store away thinking might be useful one day. Have a look through and see what you can find. Obviously, make sure everything is thoroughly clean first of all. You can also get a towel and roll up some treats within the towel so that they can snuffle and find the treats in there. You can use old bits of carpet or bath mats for different surfaces. Really, the possibilities are endless. And in this photo, I've put a variety of different things that I use in my free work sessions. And I really love to go to the pound shop and buy, because they have really random stuff in there, but it's absolutely brilliant. And when you start thinking free work, you look at stuff with a completely different viewpoint on, oh, that'd be great for free work. And there's even things like hula hoops, and they've got sort of beads inside, so they make a noise and they rattle. So we were talking about their hearing earlier. It's just all these different things that you can use. And then in the middle is Remy, and this tub is full of autumn leaves. So that's her snuffle. She's snuffling in amongst the leaves to find all the treats. But obviously be careful with twigs and stuff like that. If your dog likes to chew sticks, then leave those bits out. Remy's as a stick chewer, given the opportunity. So yeah, you can use absolutely anything, and it's really exciting to see what you can find. And free work can be done anywhere, and it doesn't have to be in a huge space. I mean, it's definitely a great activity to do in your garden, where your dog can be off lead as long as it's safe and enclosed. You can remove their harness, their collar, their leads, so they're completely free to move around and explore everything without feeling any kind of restrictions in any way. And in this first picture, this is Chloe, obviously here, and then this is actually Keto, my old bull mastiff, bless her, who's over Rainbow Bridge now. And they, at this point, there is so much equipment here, but they were seasoned professionals. They absolutely loved it. They weren't overwhelmed by the amount of equipment. And that's why when we first start off introducing free work, we only have 3 or 4 different elements for them, so that we don't put them into overwhelm. With Remy, if I put too much down, she gets overexcited, and it just boosts up her arousal that she can't focus so well. So have to be really careful about not causing overwhelm or over arousal. But these guys were quite happy to mooch around in the garden together. There was no resource guarding issues between them. They didn't feel the need to rush around and eat all the treats before the other one. They were just quite happy mooching together. But it's really important to be aware, if you've got more than one dog, whether they are going to fall out over the food or not. So please be mindful of that. And actually, if you've got more than one dog, it's quite nice to do free work sessions singly, to give you that one-on-one time with them, and to, just enhance that bond and the relationship that you have. So that's free work in the garden. But also you can do free work in your house or any kind of building, and even in the smallest room in your house. So this is Remy in the shower. She is in the bathroom. We were doing free work. I've developed a free work course with a variety of different ways that you can use free work to help you with your everyday kind of training. And Remy is not a fan of the bathroom or the shower. And so I've done free work with her to build up the positive experience with going into the bathroom, going into the shower, so that she can freely move in and out, just exploring and enjoying and building up that positive experience. And she absolutely loves it. When I had to then shower her after she rolls and stuff, it's disgusting, but when I had to shower her, so I set up free work again, and off she goes, really excited, like, oh yeah, free work in the bathroom, and she's eating the treats and she walks in the shower. And it was just so lovely. It was so calm. There was no stress. There was no pressure. It was just really, really lovely to do. So you don't need a massive, great big garden and loads of equipment. You can actually just use very small spaces. And so there are so many ways to use free work, and really I've just kind of scratched the surface with this presentation, because I could spend days talking about it. There's so many different ways, but the important things is that the observation, to watch your dog and see what they do and their movement. You know, you can go down the whole route of, do they move easier to the left or to the right? Do they like to circle in a clockwise direction or an anti-clockwise direction? Do you know, are they quite slow to start with, then speed up? Or are they quite fast to begin with, then slow down? I mean, there's so many interesting things when we start to look at observation itself of what they're doing. But also it's a great way to introduce new equipment and build positive experience. So we have, this is Remy. I mean, all these objects she is familiar with already, but we've got the grooming mitt, we've got a T-touch wrap, we've got an umbrella, we've got nail clippers, a brush, and this, I don't know if you can see this plastic thing here, is one of the cones that, you know, if they go to the vet and have an operation, the cone of shame. And, you know, if you know that your dog's going to have an operation and might need to wear a cone, which I did with Remy when she was spayed. And so when you flatten out those big sheets of plastic, they make the most amazing licky mat. And what a fantastic way as a first introduction to the cone of shame. It really is. It's just such a more positive experience, rather than just, you know, having had their operation and having this cone shoved over their head. So it's a really good way to introduce all that kind of new stuff. And also, if you think about it, it's like if we go clothes shopping, you know, we take a top off of the hanger and we look at it and we feel it. Is it soft? Is it rough? We don't necessarily sniff it, because that would be a bit weird, but you know, we look at it, we turn it round, we might hold it up against ourselves to see if it's going to look okay, you know, the colors, all of this kind of stuff, the shape of it. And when you think about you know, putting a new collar on your dog or a new harness, rather than just, you know, here's your new collar around the neck, it's like, let them sniff it, let them investigate it, let them look at it. And everything that is new, especially if there's a kind of rubbery part to it, is going to have that new rubber smell. It's going to smell weird. It's that, you know, everything has this new smell to it. And so free work is a great way to introduce all of these new items, rather than just going, right, you know, I've got this new brush, I'm going to brush you with it. You know, let them really explore it. Just like we would if we were looking at something that we wanted to buy, or we got something new as well. And it's all about the dog's emotional experience with that, you know, just letting them investigate and experiment and learn in their own way with their own choice, and whether they want to engage or disengage with things. It's really empowering to our dogs. So there's, you know, we can use it for many different ways, but it's also appropriate for any dog of any age. So this is Chloe. We think she might be about 10 now, and she absolutely loves a free work session. She just loves it. And then this is little puppy Remy, who was maybe about 12 weeks old when I took that photo. So they're there with their bone feeders. One of the few times that that Remy has been okay and not guarded her food or anything. She's a bit selfish. She doesn't like to share with Chloe. So yeah, any age, any shape, any size. I mean, I've known dogs that are blind that can do free work. I've worked in a rescue where the dogs were disabled. And so, you know, they had limited movement of their back legs, but they absolutely loved the free work. You know, something so new and exciting. It's not necessarily about having loads of exercise, but just that mental stimulation and the learning and the experimenting and the investigating. It's just so exciting. So I have created a free work course with step-by-step guides on all of this stuff that I've been talking about, taking you through how to progress, the science behind the free work, and how the free work benefits our dog's emotions. So if you'd like more information about this, then obviously feel free to pop something in the comments or message me. But I do have for you a free ebook about what is free work and where to start, which goes into a little bit more detail than I've talked about today. And so, yeah, I mean, like I said, I've literally scratched the surface today on what is free work, but I hope with the images and the explanations of, you know, it's more than just an enrichment activity. It's more than just your dog finding treats on different objects and shapes and stuff. So if you would like the free ebook, hopefully the link is above, so you can click that and download that. I hope this presentation has been useful to you and to help you understand some of the benefits of the free work. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments below, and I'll keep an eye on the post and answer any questions that come up.